What's going on, people? Welcome to United View. Welcome to another transfer view. Hope you guys are doing good. Happy Onana Day. It's going to be a here we go. It's been imminent. It's been close. It's been nearly done. It's been around the corner. It's been here we go soon. It's been positive talks. It's been talks progressing. It's been talks ongoing.
I missed an opportunity.
Loads.
Do it again. Say all the things again. Say all the things again.
Owen, that's pressure.
It's been close.
What?
It's been imminent.
What?
It's been nearly there.
What?
Oh, you did miss an opportunity. That would have been
I
wicked
did,
as well.
I
Because
did.
when I was in the moment,
I could have
would've
really
kept going.
I
Yeah.
could have really. I'm half asleep, Flex. It's been a long week.
What?
It has. But good morning and welcome to the show. Smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Pre-season has started. Big up to everybody who watched the content we did over there in Norway. That was just like a little.
Oh yeah, welcome
little,
back.
Yeah, exactly. Little pre-season opener. Just a light little, just a light before the processions really get going. It's a light little Norway in the pissing down rain.
Yeah, I
It was
that.
it was awful. But no, it was
when
great.
you,
Great to meet the Norwegian fans. Everyone out there, really happy to see the boys, happy to see the team. But the weather, guys, you should have warned us.
I mean, when you were at the hotel, sort of, shaking hands with Eric, Steve McLaren, Dan Fletcher, I don't know if you saw, like, just outside while you were there, so you probably did see that canopy that you're like under is dripping. When it's like when it's that heavy rain that it's just everything saturated and boom, boom, boom. And people don't know this. Some people said to us, some of the videos they might have got up a little bit late. It was so wet that technology started to break. That was the kind of levels that the Oslo weather had for United View. It was incroyable. But we persevered. We overcame, Flex.
We did. And we'll talk a little bit about it later on in the show because we've got news. We've got here we go today from Andre Onana. Fred exit offers. Looking like he's going to leave because Fabrizio Romano did confirm that Fred will leave. Departure shortlist. Tellus to Saudi. A Langer exit race. And there was a little bit on Harry Kane in terms of Daniel Levy sitting down at the table with Bayern Munich with a willingness maybe to do a deal there. So that was be Man United completely out of it, which we kind of knew already, but interesting topic. Really quickly, Sami says, the funniest thing just happened. I got a United View is live notification from my girlfriend's phone. She's always known how I love the channel. I guess she started watching too. So big up to Sami and your missus. There you go. She's in. She's realized, how many people's other half I meet, like wives and husbands or whatever, boyfriend, girlfriends, etc. And they say, "Oh, your voice is always on in the house. Oh, he's always listening to you, or she's always listening to you. You always get it." And you're like, and I go, "Sorry, I know you must really hate my voice, like or Owen's or whatever." But yes, anyway, Onana.
Yes,
it's finally he's our player. We've said it's for a long time.
I know, and it's been tedious, and we apologize because it does feel like every day when we talk about him, we're going tomorrow, today, tomorrow. But we think it is today, according to Fabrizio Romano. Anyway, late last night he said, "Breaking: Manchester United are now closing in on Andre Onana deal as final verbal proposal has been made during talks today. He understands it's a 50 million euro fee plus 5 million euros in add-ons. The structure of said add-ons is being discussed and then it's a done deal. It's imminent as expected." In fact, Onana last night had his sort of exit farewell meal. I don't know if you saw this, Flex, in Milan at Javier Zanetti's restaurant. Manchester United, signing the thing. It was quite cool. Actually, in the background, they've got a load of signed boots, I guess, of players and that.
Wouldn't mind going there.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, Zanetti's a legend as well, so imagine some of the memorabilia in there.
Yeah, exactly. And I bet it's Milan restaurants. Yeah, that's proper, isn't it? Manchester United and Inter are closing in on final details of the deal. All parties expect Onana to become a new Manchester United player in the next hours. Inter have already started to move on. They're going after two goalkeepers, a bit like Manchester United, really, going after two goalkeepers this summer because Onana's gone, Handanovic has gone for them. So they're going for two keepers, as we are as well. Now, actually, Gianluca Di Marzio took it a step further last night. He was appearing on Italian television, and he said that Inter Milan have sold Andre Onana to Manchester United. Now, maybe it's not that far just yet, but I think the point he's trying to make is that Inter Milan, they're already acting and operating as if Onana's a Manchester United player. In their mind, it's done. We've moved on. We're going for other targets. So the expectation is today, yes, that at any point we're going to be getting this. Here we go. And I tell you who is shameless. It's KG. KG is shameless.
He's an idiot.
Because yesterday, when this stuff was going on, he went, see, Thursday. And I went, here we go, it's going to come on Friday. So that doesn't count. You can't just...
No, you can't just move the day or say,
No.
yeah, but it was the day before. I said Thursday, which means it's within 24 hours of something else happening.
Yeah.
No, that's not how it works.
You can't do
That's
that.
not how it works.
And
No.
by the way, that whole Thursday thing started when he said Thursday, it was going to be announced the club was sold a month ago.
And also what he did yesterday, which was quite shameless, is, you know, who's been saying the João Felix thing, which we all know KG. We all know KG, yeah. For KG to say that João Felix thing last week, he's seen it online somewhere. He's seen it. Like, we might have missed it. Fair play. He might have seen it before us, but it wasn't really a thing. But he's seen it mentioned on some form of internet platform, Twitter or whatever, yeah? And he's then brought it to the show and gone, yeah, João Felix. Then an article's happened a couple of days ago saying Man United could look at João Felix. He quote retweeted tier 9. And he was saying to me, see, remember what I said to you?
Well, tier 9, tier 7, he moved up.
Oh, he moved up. Was it tier 7?
Yeah, tier 7 now.
He's unbelievable. But yes, on the Onana thing, man, listen, we say there's a lot in transfers now in it about how the fun gets taken out of things. And it's kind of like not just technology, but just the way society just moves forward. It's the same maybe in like sometimes you get spoilers in films and you can go to the internet and find things before you've seen it. And it's just the world we live in, that the fun gets taken out of a lot of stuff just by default, whether it's a concert, you want to go to, say, a Drake concert or whatever, and all on TikTok and Instagram, when he's touring in America, you can just see the whole show and see everything that's going to happen. So by the time he gets to the O2, you know what it's going to be. It's just how things work, which is quite sad, really. Gone are the days of like, you just hear about this player and you're like, what? Oh my God. Then you see them holding the show and you're like, wow, they're our player. It just goes on and on and on and on. And the Onana thing has kind of been like that, but every transfer is. Mason Mount was the same. So no surprises there. But it is exciting. It is exciting. And it's so transformative to what we want to be trying to do. Like he's a proper key ingredient. And actually, us speaking like this, is like we were behind the curve. I can admit it. I sit here now about to get Onana knowing what we're going to do. And I saw Cam in the comments. He's watching. And all of you guys, to be fair, who have been saying this for a long time, like, I was way behind the curve. Like, it is actually really exciting knowing that we're going to play in this style and we're going to have a goalkeeper who's going to play in this way. And that I can admit, I got no problems. I'm not one of them people, on the internet that's like, can't backtrack or admit I got that wrong or admit I see the light now. I was way behind the train, and now I'm on it. And it feels really good. And again, we've said our goodbyes to David De Gea. I've made my peace in it respectfully. Some people don't care. We've done that, and he still should get a nice send off and come back and say bye to everyone properly. But to know that Andre Onana's coming in and what that means for us and how transformative a signing it is proper exciting. It is.
I see what is kind of wild about it is I've seen quite a few. Obviously, you see the compilations on social media, and I saw someone had to put yesterday, because this is how far on the other end it is now. Someone yesterday had to go, here's a compilation of him making saves, because no one's posted that so far. It's true. It's all been him doing passes and stuff like that. And you see him making saves. You go, oh, yeah, he's a goalkeeper. Yeah,
he should just make them.
He can actually make some saves. So, of course, as we spoke about recently, and as some of the people that wanted David De Gea to leave earlier on, Cam, Marcel, etc., had said for a while, I do think it is going to be quite transformative. I'm not sure. I think the really interesting thing about it is how quickly that adjustment is going to happen, if there's going to be some teething issues. And that was why I wanted to have him in as early as possible so he can have a full preseason. And more importantly, the other players can have a full preseason of him. So they can get used to each other. They can,
and it's worked out perfectly because they're not here yet. They're all not even here yet.
Exactly.
So for America, they will be.
Exactly. He'll be on. You would think, and I mean, unless you never know, you never know. So
maybe you might miss the first game or something.
Some delay or something like that. But the point being is, the expectation is he'll be on the plane to America, and you would hope that he'll be there for the game in New York against Arsenal. And there's a lot of excitement that comes with that because, as we have said before, and I really do believe this. When you look at how United played last season, and you look at how Ajax were playing at the end of Erik ten Hag's tenure in Amsterdam, there's a big difference in those playing styles. I know people can say, "Oh, last season, like we'd put 2 or 3 passes together last season," and you can see people on social media raving about Erik ten Hag ball. This is how he wants us to play, and you go, "That is nowhere near what Ajax were doing, not even close." And I think last season he wanted to do that early on. It didn't work. We obviously saw the result against Brighton and Brentford, particularly that Brentford one. And he went, right, scrap that, compromise. I've got to do a hybrid version of my ideal style of play. And that starts with the goalkeeper. And for the remainder of the season, you know, he tried. And at points we did see us playing a bit more, you know, possession football, trying to play out from the back, those goal kick routines where De Gea would pass it to Martinez and he would take it or anything like that. But the point being is, he compromised. And I think now he said, I came third. I won a trophy. I got to a cup final. The foundation's there, but I don't want to compromise anymore. They know my principles. People above me know my principles. And now we've got to develop, we've got to kick on. And that does start with the goalkeeper of how he wants to play out from the back, being more press resistant, taking more risks, being more comfortable on the ball. And you can see it that in this signing so far, he's just reinforcing his sort of Ten Hag spine through the team, isn't he? Onana, Mount, next one hopefully will be a striker, needs to be a striker, but that spine through the team is getting more technically proficient, more press resistant. And
Martinez, you brought him in,
exactly
through the spine.
Martinez.
You know what I mean, I know Casemiro and Eriksen he did bring in, so they count. Casemiro
That's what I mean.
Casemiro's a bit of an anomaly because he's so exceptional with what he can do, but his experience is like if Casemiro was in isolation, like would you say like he's a Ten Hag player, like really technical, want to get on the ball? You maybe wouldn't say that, but in terms of what he is in the game and how he can slot in. What you want me to play a bit more like this in front foot? No problem. David Modric can cruise on my life, mate. No, you want me to get on the ball a little bit? And he started taking the piss half the time, didn't he? Spraying balls, scoring goals, doing things he didn't even do at Real Madrid because he didn't have to, because this league's pony compared to that style of football. So he's not a stereotypical Ten Hag player, but he is in terms of in that position, he knows his way about the pitch and can facilitate anything we need. So technically he is. Eriksen is a Ten Hag player. So and we're not just, again, it's not just like, again, you can say because the manager's buying these players, well, obviously they're his players because he's buying them. But I mean, it's a bit more than that with Ten Hag because his style of play is so significant. He's getting players who really do match what he's done. And within 2 transfer windows, you don't really count January, so 2 summer windows, you can just see, like you said, all of the little compromises he made after 1 year. He's like, nope. Now I need to really stamp my authority. I've given everybody a year under me. Some people didn't even last a year under me because they were gone before that. People, Harry Maguire, you can say he didn't last a year. He only played when there was injuries. Obviously, we know what happened with the Ronaldo situation. And the midfield, he changed it instantly. Fred and McTominay was just no more. How many games did they even start together last year? Probably hardly any. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Very, very few. We used to see them in patches singularly, So he's changing what we do. And I think Ten Hag's played this absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect, the way that he's done it. Considering what we always feared, this is before we even knew what the takeover was, what was going to unfold. Say this time last year, at the beginning of the window, before we knew anything about a takeover, we always feared under the Glazers as well, what would it be like? Like, he's a great manager, but when he comes out of that system at Ajax, that's so good at supporting the manager, bringing through players, finding talent for cheap and developing it. It's a different assignment at Man United. One, because it's Man United, so that whole conveyor belt of just making players good to sell them on and be an underdog, that's not what it is compared to Ajax. And 2, the structure, the scouting, all of that, and the takeover and the ownership, which then led to the chaos of the takeover. So considering all of that, to still be able to identify these types of players that fit his situation perfectly is good. And the only positive I would give is that Man United are putting him in control. That's the only positive. I'm never going to big up the Glazers and say, oh, well done this. And John Murtough and Richard Arnold got a long way to go under transfers to really show us that, everything's changed kind of thing. But one thing you do have to maybe not even give praise for, but just take note of, is that Ten Hag is in control of these signings. Like
those big decisions,
you know what I mean?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Those big decisions, whether it's Ronaldo, whether it's De Gea, whether it's Maguire, pressure that maybe would have been there previously. You've got to keep Ronaldo. You've got to keep De Gea. Hey, Maguire's got to play. That doesn't exist.
Yeah,
that doesn't exist anymore.
Hold that thought, Owen. We're just going to read the super chats out. Armour says, watching Harry Kane on Hot Ones. Yeah, I need to watch that. Is that episode out now? Is it fully out?
It was out yesterday. Yes, indeed.
Oh,
it
right.
was.
Okay, I need to give that a watch just to see. Well, I would have seen spoilers in terms of anything crazy if he was like, "Oh, this is so hot. By the way, I can't wait to go to Man United." Like
this is so hot. Like my move to Manchester United.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I'm going to give that a watch for sure. Aminul Rashid says, please can UV give love to Dele Ali? So sad to hear. 100%. We are going to talk about that in this show. Maybe straight after these super chats, actually, now you've brought that up. But we were going to talk about it. United View Scout says, no chance we get a striker. That's another thing we're going to talk about during this show. WJ Barrett says, this Onana deal has scared the hell out of me. Way too public. He has to hit the ground running because press are going to be all over him like a rash. It's like any Man United.
Press are all over any Man United signing like a rash, aren't they?
Yeah, same with,
I saw
just
people,
gave Mount the 7.
I just saw people watch Mason Mount play for 45 minutes in the first pre-season friendly.
Fail comp.
And he's awful. He's terrible. He's absolutely rubbish.
Oh stupid. Satchiv says, my expectation for United is to win the double. I don't care what anyone says. I'm tired of top 4. Time to raise the standard. Satchiv having enough and saying, listen, Premier League and FA Cup, or I don't know, FA Cup and Carabao Cup, or what double? What double do you mean, Satchiv? Just any double? But we can't really move on, actually, like Aminor says, without talking about what happened yesterday in Dele Alli's interview and the bravery that he showed. And actually, it was a real eye-opener into like what victims of sexual abuse and people who have problems with mental health and battles and demons that they need to get over, what they go through every day. Like not just footballers, people in life who will keep things in for the longest amount of time, scared to talk, scared to trust, scared to be vulnerable, scared to be brave. And that's all okay as well. That is the case. But then there comes a point where sometimes you go, you know what? I want to speak. I want to talk about my troubles, and I want to help people, and I want to, most importantly as well, help myself to get through this. And the bravery that he showed to do that was unreal. And I thought what the real disgusting side of it was that he basically did this quicker than he wanted to, because the paper said, we know where you are.
Yeah, we know where you are. Yeah, they said that we know where you are. And he said, I wouldn't have ideally had to do this now. I wanted to do it, but I didn't want to do it now. But I felt like you have to sometimes control your narrative a little bit. And he felt kind of pressured into that. And I totally agree with you. I thought it was refreshing to see some people actually go on social media and almost apologize really for certain things that they had said, saying, well, it's made me reevaluate how I maybe operate on social media. And it won't be for everyone, because social media is just this giant cesspool, but they saying that, it's made them realize you don't know what's going on. And that's why whenever you're involved in anything that you say on social media, when you're not talking to someone's face, you should always say, would I be willing to say this to someone's face, or would I not be willing to say that? And that's when it goes back to when you say things that are respectful. You can, at the end of the day, with stuff like this, or any footballer like Dele Alli, you can say, oh, I don't think he played well in that match. You can say that. But when you sort of when you cross the line of going into like really personal things, you don't know what's going on. And obviously he's just bared his soul completely on the line there, and really got into some really, not just the stuff he was saying about, the addiction part of it, but the trauma, like you said, that precedes it and all that kind of stuff. It was absolutely heartbreaking, heart-wrenching. If anything, you look at it and you say, it's unbelievable that he made it to the level that he did, considering that all of that stuff going on. And I just thought, I really hope that and I think maybe this is his hope as well, is that I really hope it changes people's ideas of before they say things or before they make judgments on things. It has to.
And people saying, think about Maguire or think about Sancho, and again, this isn't just football. Like, we all have probably come across somebody that we may not even know, or big people in our lives that have been through similar situations, probably people watching this very channel who are silently suffering. This is across life, not just football. But in relation to that, when people say about Maguire and Sancho, that's why you always have to be careful with your words. Like, how many times have you seen, you know, if we're going to talk about Sancho, I've said a good couple of times, and look, at the end of the day, he did get sent away for X, Y, Z. There could be other stuff going on there, but just from the football side of it, I see this or I see that. There's a threshold that you shouldn't go beyond. With Harry Maguire, again, his thing is like he's taking pelts every single day, and again, criticism of performance is, that's what we're here to do. That's
exactly.
okay.
That's why I always say keep it to football. Like the Maguire thing. When people they start talking about like some of the legal things, or they talk about he's a fridge, or he's just.
Yeah.
You go, well, now you're not being constructive about football. Now you're just launching personal attacks because you don't like how he's played on the pitch, and that's the line that again you can cross. And
like Roman says there, criticism is part of football and it's healthy as long as it's constructive and not personal. And players, I've spoken to many players, present, still playing now, and ex-pros. And again, they say the same thing. Obviously, some people, it hurts them more than others to hear people might not rate your game, or people don't believe in you to do well, or don't think you're a good player or whatever, of course. But essentially, if it's just strictly to the game, then they're fine with that. But as soon as you start, like you say, going personal, or you don't know what's going on in someone's life, and you're starting to say like they just don't care about football, they just care more about this, or, well, you can't make that assumption. You don't know, So no, I just wanted to big up Dele Alli on that. But more importantly, above that, and this, you could tell that's what Dele Alli wanted from that interview, which I'm quite big on, is big up to people in everyday life. Everyday life. Like I said, people who are on Twitter every day, people who may watch this channel, people who watch other fan content, people who we may come across on the train, doesn't matter. Just people in everyday life who are battling with this or have battled similar situations to this and have had the courage and bravery to do this, or may not have yet. And if you haven't, that's fine. But this channel is always a safe place for you to be. And we're welcome for anybody to be part of our community and feel safe. That's what I want to say. And yeah, I hope that from Dele Alli's interview, like you said, people just watch their words. And actually, just before we move on, Owen, like, we're in this as well. This is to us. We're on a huge platform every single day. 144,000 subscribers. 5 has got nearly 1 million subscribers. Stretford Paddock's got over 600,000 subscribers. United Stand's got like 1.6 million subscribers, whatever it is. AFTV's got 1.4, whatever. Like, we all in this space. I know it's because it's in football, so we're kind of irrelevant to that. We all have a duty of care, and that is like, if we overstep the line, we need to be aware of that and not do it. Which I think we're quite good at on this channel. Some people can always say things and I'll pull them up, and if I haven't, I'll be the first off camera to say, listen, maybe don't say that. But I always want to make sure that we operate with that integrity and that kind of, concern and awareness, So yeah, feel free. This is an open community. If you guys ever think that we've said something, or in a moment, maybe don't say that, pull us up. We're not too big to be, told that. We're good with our words and we're compassionate people, but everyone can get it wrong. And I'm not afraid to say that we're all in this together to make sure that people are safe and people are protected. So big up to everyone who watched that interview. It was a difficult watch,
Very.
But yeah, there you go. Other super chats, what we got today. Owen Style Advisor. Always good to see Owen Style Advisor. Owen needs the advice.
I do.
Nice to catch you live in the morning. Have a great weekend, Owen and Flex, and all the thanks for the content. Big up the mods and drop a goddamn like, people. Yeah, exactly. Literally what Owen Style Advisor says. Big up to each and every the mods. Exactly. SJ, Tabislo, Mina's a mod, Mimi's a mod, doing great things. Big her up. Who else is a mod? We've got so many. I'm trying to see the ones who are in there today. Steph is in there. Star-Lord is in there.
I saw Rich in there.
Rich is in there. Yeah, exactly. So big up to everyone. And CJK Digital says, as a black man, seeing Delhi opening up, I hope will inspire others in our community to talk about their mental health more. Big up United view. Yeah, 100%, man. 100%. Just on that specific super chat in the black community, it's not something we do very well, especially as black men. 100%, we're very closed, seen as weakness. To kind of do that from like kind of our culture kind of tells us that don't be soft, don't show that side, and not just our culture, just men in general, isn't it? Like we struggle to a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
that's across the board. So yeah, big up to you, bro. Satchiv says, I meant Premier League and FA Cup. That's what he wants. That's what he wants. He wants Premier League and FA Cup. Right. So to finish off on Onana, Owen, is it safe to say we are expecting a here we go? And I'm sounding a bit like Romano here. Anytime now. We literally are, though. He said it.
Here we go. Later today.
It could be while we're live, though. You know,
could be.
My sense is that later on today we will be live with a here we go. We will be live later on with a here we go.
Yeah.
But yes, that's fair to say, in it, Owen. Yeah. Before we move on.
Fair to say, yes, and indeed it is.
Good, indeed it is. Also, official Tafe Chong has signed for Luton Town from Birmingham City on an undisclosed fee. Man United will receive 25% of the fee. So, Chongi has gone to Luton.
And 1 million in the bank.
1 million. Is that the 25%? Is that what is that
25% of 4 million?
Was he 4 million? Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah. Well, there you go. They say we don't sell players well. Now we do.
Yeah, there you go.
Million. Yeah. Fred, exit.
Yes.
Speaking of selling well.
Yes, just before we talk about Fred as well, just some news coming out from The Athletic this morning, coming from Matt Slater. Just a very quick takeover update. And the news is, there's no news. There has been no communication between the sellers of Manchester United and any potential buyers since Sheikh Jassim's last bid for the club in early June. So they're saying that there's been nothing since June. We're halfway through July, Flex. So that's the latest there when it comes to that. So very frustrating. Fred, though, it's looking like he's going to be exiting Manchester United this summer, doesn't it? Romano said last night, an exclusive, that Galatasaray have approached Manchester United to sign Fred. The opening proposal was already submitted, but it was rejected by Man United. The transfer fee was below expectations. They don't say how much the proposal was for. Fred will leave United this summer, as Saudi clubs, Fulham, and more Premier League clubs are already working on it. So the question then becomes, Flex, considering that Romano's, that's pretty strong. Fred will leave.
Saying he's leaving,
He's going to leave this summer. How much? They rejected this one from Galatasaray. How much do you want? Because yesterday, I spoke it into existence. We're going to talk about Alanga a little bit later on. But I said I wanted 25 to 20 million for Anthony Alanga. Then it came out Everton, 15 to 20. So with that being said, let's speak this one into existence. How much for Fred?
Needs to be 25 to 30. 25 to 30. If it's Saudi, don't see why not. Realistically, it's probably going to be 20 to 25, but I think try and push. We need to put dig in our heels a little bit. I know we need players to sell quite quickly, and we want to, but do what other teams do to us. Say no. Where's the add-ons? All right, well, give us 25 plus 5. Like, start being creative. Start pushing. I want to see us be a bit. I don't want to see us just accepting the first set of bids just because we do need to sell. I want to see us, push for as much as we can, and especially if Saudi are coming in, the money's there, man. The money's there. Push
with Fred though, because he's 30 with a year left on his contract. You look at people like Alanga. He's got, I think it's like 3 years left. Academy player, still young. Whereas Fred, it's a year left, 30. Yeah, he is an international, but I would say a 20. I think 20 I'd be looking for. If it's a Premier League club, then I think that's when you boost it up.
How old is Jordan Henderson?
How old is Jordan Henderson?
Ain't he like 28, 29? Ain't he 30?
But the transfer fee isn't going to be super, super high for Jordan Henderson.
Ain't it going to be like 40 million, 30 million?
He's 33.
Right, he's way older than Fred. But ain't it going to be like 30 million? I thought it was decent.
I don't know how high it is. They said he's definitely not going to leave on a free. I'm not sure how much the fee is going to be. I do know that they were saying that his contract's going to be like 700K a week.
Yeah, it's insane. I want to see Carragher on this. I can't wait to see what he has to say.
Did you see the video of Steven Gerrard doing the training as well?
Jesus.
Who wants it? Who wants it?
It hasn't
Nothing.
worked out.
No,
I'd say
it was
that
proper
yet.
David Brent. It was proper David Brent. He went, "He wants it. Wants
Yeah.
it. Nothing. No communication."
Yeah, I know. It's just funny, isn't it? They just obviously just go out there for a year, collect in it, come back. But
No communication.
yeah, that was just typical. And because, like, you know what it is about, like, obviously someone like Gerrard as well, you just don't know no other languages as well. So it's like, it's just funny to watch. That's going to be the case for a lot of players and slash managers going out there. But yeah, I'd think, yeah, of course, it's probably not going to be, it's not going to be 30 million, but hearts for it and come down. End up at 23 then from 30. I don't care. Like, just, but, you know, give yourself a chance to get decent money for Fred. Because Fred is still an active player. Like, he's not a player who's like, the reason why we're selling Fred is not because he can't do the things that he used to be able to do and he's getting old now. It's just that he's still doing exactly what he did on day one, isn't it? Really?
Well, yeah, and it's
running
also
around,
a case of
getting on
a
to
guy
people.
that we're not going to give him a new contract. He's not going to stick around
Yeah, he's
on the
not good
expiration of
enough
his
for us.
contract.
Yeah.
So you've got to cash in. So that's what United are doing. They're going to cash in, but they want to
like,
get the
in
right
terms
price.
in terms of his ability, I know he's got the year left and stuff, but then we could say, yeah, he's got that, but he's still a Brazilian international. He's still very much part of their plans, playing alongside Casemiro. Like, he plays big games. He's played hundreds of games for Manchester United. Very experienced player. Like, you could say it's a bit of a reach, but that's our job. That's John Murto's and Richard Arnold, or whoever's in charge of it, exactly these types of deals. That's your job to sell it. That's your job to push and push and push. Even if the buying team goes, come on, you're having a laugh. What? Shut up, man. Like what we did with Mason Mount. I know it's different. He's younger, but year left, we still have to pay big money. Like, and I get he's younger, but Chelsea just did it. He's like, no, he's this, he's that. If you want him, he's this. You know, that's our job. And I know I'm only quabbling over 5 to 7, 8 million here, but it means a lot. And I'm saying try and get as much as you can. So start high and come down. Start at 30.
This kind of continues on, actually. So we can move on actually into the third story for this, because actually once we're talking about Fred, we might as well talk about all of the other players that are available as well. So Chris Wheeler said that Manchester United are trying to save money where possible so they can afford Andre Onana, which we're going to get the Here We Go today, and also Rasmus Højlund, the £85.5 million striker. So because of that, they're ready to sell Fred, as we mentioned, Anthony Alanga, Donny van der Beek, Eric Bailly, and Brandon Williams. Dean Henderson will also be sold if the Andre Onana deal goes through, which of course it is. But when it comes to some of these other names, I mean, they're saying that those names guaranteed they're probably going to go this summer. The other names that are available, he says that Manchester United will also listen to offers for any one of Jadon Sancho, Harry Maguire, Anthony Martial, and Scott McTominay if it will generate enough money to get the players that they want. Which is, again, which is quite curious, isn't it? So they're saying that those players there, maybe they're not actively pushing them out. You're definitely for sale, but they're sort of saying that, I tell you what, if we get an offer,
if the right offer comes in, you can't ignore it. 100%. You can't. Any one of those players you just mentioned, Sancho's the one that probably some people would, that's in the balance. Some people would say for the right money, I'd definitely cash in. We've seen him for a couple of years. It maybe hasn't worked out. If the right money came in, fresh start for him, we get the money and we could get somebody else that suits Ten Hag profile a bit better, maybe. Because Ten Hag didn't buy Jadon as well. We have to remember that. It'd be interesting to see if Ten Hag was the manager at the time, would he have gone after someone like Jadon? Would he have seen the attributes he wanted? I'd love to have seen that unfold. We obviously would never know, but that just would have been really curious to know. But yeah, so apart from Jadon in that group, everyone else you take money for easily. And a lot, as they say, it's probably changed a lot. A lot of people might look at Jadon and say that I wanted to have one more year, just one last hurrah, to see if he can
get it as well. I think.
Yeah, he's definitely going to get it because I don't know who, but it would be interesting if someone came in and put 58 plus add-ons down for Jadon.
I think I'd take it.
That's what I mean. And
again, not necessarily as much of an indictment on Sancho, maybe a little bit as if to say, I don't know, I'm not sure it's really working out, all that kind of stuff. But more so, as the article was saying, that United's budget is so tight this summer that any flexibility they can get because of player sales, they're going to take it. So if someone does,
but it has to be someone who Ten Hag's not sure on. Like if that money came in for Rashford, he's not. Not 50, but of course, he's going no. If it came in for bloody, I don't even know who, because he's bought everyone new. Luke Shaw.
I know.
He wouldn't sell him.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He wouldn't sell him. So There you go. So yeah, I those players, yeah. If the right offer comes in for them, you have to look at it. You do,
But
and they're surplus anyway.
realistically, you're going, is there going to be an offer for Jadon Sancho this summer? You go, probably not, unless, like
No.
you said, a Spurs or someone does sell Harry Kane and they come into a bit of cash and they go, right, let's, not that they would replace Harry Kane with Jadon Sancho, but you know what I mean? They go, oh, we're going to spray some of the money out a little bit. Harry Maguire, I mean, there might be an offer that comes in, maybe, once West Ham get Declan Rice money, maybe they might say, well, we know that they'd accept an offer for Harry Maguire, so let's test a little bit. Anthony Martial, I really don't see anyone putting an offer in for him this summer. I just don't think they'll take the risk. I think his contract's too big.
Someone might try and loan him, which means nothing to us.
Maybe. It doesn't really do anything for us.
If Højlund does come in, or whoever the striker is going to be, and Martial sees he's going further down the thing, he could just say, I had an awful year last year. Get me out on loan. Like, I know I'm probably going to run his contract. He's probably going to run his contract down. Or I don't know if Man United got an extra trigger on that year just to make it so they can sell him. I don't know.
Or a bit like the De Gea thing. They just go, we're not going to extend. We're not going to extend it. Mate, you know what I mean?
Literally 50 million down the drain. Like, as the song said, like that would be ironic, wouldn't it? For all them years we've sang 50 million down the drain. English press said he had no chance, and it ended up being 50 million down the drain if he goes for free. That's the typical Man United thing. But I think people would probably, his stock has fallen so low because of what happened to him last season that, I don't know who's going to come in for him. But on the flip side, just like what we was talking about a bit with Dele Alli, what's his mentality like? How must he be feeling? He's still young. His body's just breaking down every week. Now, we as fans, now again, we're not convoluting the two things, and you can't say, look, that's why we should just keep him. Like, it's football, it's a business. That means that you need to go into pastures new and stuff. That's not horrible to say. That's the truth. But in terms of how he must be feeling, though, we can't underestimate that too. That all of a sudden, he never used to be this injury prone. Hasn't played 90 minutes in the whole season. Like, that wasn't happening before. He had injuries, but never like this.
Yeah, in the last few years, it's been catching up, hasn't it? I mean, last season really came to a head, but even the season before, he had a couple, didn't he? And when he went to Sevilla, he was picking up injuries. And I do think there's probably a limit. And I think probably Ten Hag and United have reached their limit where they say, we just can't rely. We can't rely on this guy, because several times we tried to last season, didn't we? And it didn't work out. But as I said, I think because of that, I think that almost prevents him from getting a transfer this summer. The only other name that was also on the list was Scott McTominay. And again, I could see someone putting an offer in for him this summer. Again, and I could see it being West Ham. I really could. Once that Declan Rice money comes in, not that McTominay's the same as Declan Rice, but if they put in a 40 million offer for Scott McTominay with that over 100 million pound that they have or will have over the next couple of years, I think United, they'd find that difficult to turn that down, I think.
Yeah,
considering
he's not as good as him, obviously, but in terms of kind of some of the things they can offer, McTominay can do parts of that for West Ham. He can fill a hole in West Ham's midfield.
Yeah,
100%.
definitely.
Not at the level that Declan Rice did, because he's not as good as Declan Rice, but he does a lot of the things that Declan Rice can do. Can get about the pitch just as good in terms of legs and engine.
Yeah.
David Moyes is going to like that. He's good in the air and physical. David Moyes is going to like that. And actually, you could... Does McTominay get forward a bit more and score more goals than Declan Rice? Probably. In this United side,
their goal records are like.
Weird, isn't it? Imagine that. Someone quickly do that. I bet it's not far off. But it ain't far off.
Goal scored in the Premier League.
Yeah, goal scored in the Premier League. Someone just do that, because they've been in the league about a similar amount of time as well, because McTominay's been in it. That's actually...
sort of 2018-ish, wasn't it? Around that time, I think.
Exactly. So basically what we're saying is, where people will laugh and say, McTominay for bloody Declan Rice here. Well, if you look at the levels, I bet they won't be that far off in stats. Satchev says, Witterbird gifted five United View memberships. Big up to you, Witterbird. Always great to have you on the streams and as a mod as well. Always supporting the community. Jerome says, I think the takeover has been done, not advertised. Club is doing like Spurs did after Bale sale. Everyone will double their prices for us, because they know we got new owners. I don't know, man. I think the whole world would know. They couldn't keep that under wraps. I think the whole world would know. Yeah, I think they would. But interesting theory, Jerome. Lil Yo-Yo says, Church of Pastor Fred about to add hairline fixing to the list of activities that occur in the congregation. Fred will fix your hairline again. Fred. Oh, he's singing the song. Singing the song. And Owen Style Advisor says, has gifted also five UV memberships. That's 10 people inside the UV family now. Again this morning. So big up to you, Owen Style Advisor. Really appreciate that. Witterbird says, did you say Chong deal? United get a cut?
Yes, we do. We get a million quid from it. All goes into KG's war kitty.
Yeah, this is the war kit he's talking about, the way.
The war kit.
It's got 750k or something from
850 from Zidane Iqbal, yes,
Zidane,
and it's going to be getting a million.
Okay, so we're nearly at 2. We're nearly at 2 million war kitty. Wonder what we can get on the market for that, KG. Yeah. João Felix loan. You know what I mean? 2 million paying for a week. JP87 says, we were trying to use a Cat D striker, sawdust all over Old Trafford. Time for Martial to go. And get rid of that. And Chris is the latest member of UV Members Club. Big up to you, Chris. Lil Yo says, flex your so. Fred, Turkey, hairline surgery, because he's going to go to Turkey. And yeah, Galatasaray put in a bid. I get it now. It's early, Lil Yo. It's early. It's early. Allow me. Big up to you. And Sachiv says, Chong to DT. He ain't going there. Right, Owen, what we got next?
Alex Tellez going to Saudi Arabia as well. This is quite an interesting one because Chris Wheeler is saying that Alex Tellez is a target for Al Nassr, and people are rightfully so saying, Al Nassr, haven't they been banned from transfers? Of course, that's Cristiano Ronaldo's team. Now, the reason they've been banned for transfers is because they still owed, I think it was Leicester. I think they owed Leicester money for a transfer that they didn't pay. FIFA told them to pay it, and they still didn't pay it. So they got banned from transfers. Now, obviously, the Saudi PIF now controls Al Nassr as well as several Saudi clubs in the Saudi Pro League. And they're saying, this is just a hangover of the previous regime's management. And basically, that ban will disappear the moment they give that money to Leicester. So the money will be going to Leicester. So they will be able to buy players. They're not too concerned about it. So it looks like that Alex Tellez is going to be maybe the next name out of the door and the next name to join the Saudi Pro League. But I don't think this is one that's going to generate a huge amount of money, Flex, do you?
No, not at all.
No.
A player, again, when we're talking about the players that we need to sell to raise money, there's two crops, isn't there? There's a crop that are actively in the first team squad on the bench every week, kind of on big money and, could get a decent sell-on fee. Then there's the crop that haven't been part of the squad for a little while and their contracts are just running down. They're still taking up big wages, though, so it does all count. I'm not saying we don't need to move these players on. It is important to do it. But the crop of which was, at the time, Axel Tuanzebe, which obviously, big up to him, he's gone on to pastures new. It was Tellez on loan there at Sevilla. It was he's other player, Eric Bailly. Where was he at? Marseille.
How do you say that team's name, Flex?
Marseille.
No, the one that Alex Tellez has been linked to there.
Sevilla.
No. The team that he's been linked to in this story, the Saudi team.
Oh, is it that weird name one? Where is it again? Let me see.
The one that Cristiano Ronaldo is at the moment.
Any Al Nassr?
Well, that's what I said, yeah. And then people in the chat are saying, Owen's saying Al Nassr.
So what is it? Al Nassr, is it?
Is that how you say it?
I don't know. I'll be honest, I don't know. If someone knows it straight up, just let us know. But
Al Nassr.
Al Nassr. No,
Al Nassr.
You lot don't even know yourselves. You're all saying different things.
Exactly. There's loads of different ones in there.
You lot don't even know. Do you know what I mean?
You are on crack.
But Ronaldo's team. Just say Ronaldo's team. Actually, that's a bit disrespectful.
Yeah.
I want to say the actual thing, but
Al Nassr.
Most people are saying Nasser. So you don't know who we're talking about anyway. Yeah, you know who we're talking about. But yeah, those players, it's like, what's Eric Bailly going to be like 2 million? Something stupid like that?
Something like that, isn't it?
What's Tellez going to go for?
But like as you mentioned, they're you just got to get them off the books, haven't you? You can't, if they're here, they're draining resources. So you've got to get them off the books. They're not ones that, as we spoke about earlier, like your Hendersons or your McTominays or your Maguires or people even like a Langer that you can go, actually, we can get some money for them and we can really put that towards KG's war kitty. They're just ones where, for instance, last season, even though they were on loans and I don't know how much of their wages were being picked up, you say, well, why are they still here? Why are they still under contract? You know, we need to just move them on, and everything does count, doesn't it? So, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. He's got to move on. Teller, I remember when we got Tellers, man. Seeing videos of him and just, when he's been playing, what a left foot, delivery.
Free kicks.
Finally a left back.
Free kicks, corners.
Finally started left back who's, going to get us loads of assists. He's going to be bombing on and do this and do that. Mate, honestly. And that's why you want to get excited about any new signing you make because they become your player. So your job as a fan is to get behind them and support them to your max. That's what I think your job is. I know a lot of other fans can say, I look at football differently. You have to earn that. I have to have a look at you, then I'll buy in. I don't just automatically just give you my heart. But as a fan, me personally, if you play for Man United, since you signed the deal, and you're in the stadiums, I'll have you back until I see otherwise at the start. But tell us let's just say it didn't work out. Didn't work out as what we thought we were getting. Is the best way of saying it. Just under 500 likes. But over 2,500 people watching live. You don't know what to do with that, Billy Hughes is the latest member of the UV Members Club. Big up to you, Billy. Nice one. And John Wayne has gifted a membership as well.
John Wayne.
Big up, man.
Do you know who John Wayne is?
Yeah, he's the nothing to do with Batman or Bruce Wayne. Nothing to do with that. He's the cowboy guy, isn't it? So put that in your pipe and smoke it. Don't know much more than that. I ain't watched any films, but I just know that's.
No, I haven't actually. I don't think I haven't watched John Wayne. It's just cowboy, western, famous,
Yeah, just famous.
Kind of stuff.
Couldn't tell you a famous line or film or what, but I just know that's what he is, and I know he's not nothing to do with Bruce Wayne. That's all I know.
Yeah.
Let's go. Elanga, my son.
Anthony. So I mentioned yesterday that Everton had submitted an offer for Anthony Elanga. But now, according to The Athletic, Nottingham Forest are seriously considering rivaling Everton for the permanent signing of Anthony Elanga. Everton are interested in a move for the Swedish international. They are exploring a permanent move for Elanga, but their financial constraints mean the deal would need to make sense for them to do. Obviously, Everton have quite a lot of financial problems, actually, don't they? I think they're on the FFP watch list. I think they have a charge against them, don't they? I think, as well. That's still ongoing. So how easy this one would be to do for Everton, I don't know. All I care about when it comes to this one, Flex, we talk about raising funds, is who pays the most. Give it. That's it.
Well, no, he's my son, so where
would you think he'd be better off?
You want to say Everton, but the way they've been moving relegation battles every year.
I was saying this. I said this yesterday. I said this yesterday about Everton.
Forest, you don't know.
I think they are
both will be in a relegation battle again.
I think they're in trouble this season because historically, so the last 2 seasons, Everton have come really close, haven't they? Really close. I mean, we're talking like either last day or a couple of match days before the end. They have to win, otherwise they're in big trouble. Right? Yeah. You can't do that every season because eventually you go down.
Well, Leeds found out that, didn't they?
Yeah, exactly. So I know they got Sean Dyche and all that kind of stuff, but
if they go down, it's going to be a catastrophe. They've got a new stadium on the way as well.
New stadium, yeah.
They cannot afford to.
And again, financially, they're in a bad position just as it is.
Yeah, man. I want to say I'm still going to...
Who out of them, who's more likely to go down, do you think? Everton or Forest?
Mate, that's hard as well because Forest are flirting pretty much all year, then done a little run near the end.
Because they were pretty safe towards the end, weren't they? You know what I mean? They
were, but how can they keep that up though?
And the way the clubs kind of run as well, Steve. But then I didn't like with Forest last season. So Steve Cooper eventually kept his job, yeah. And at the end of the season, their owner came out and was like, "See, I was justified in keeping the manager." And everyone went, "Well, at the time when you were considering sacking him, everyone went, it was ridiculous." Because you'd given him like 50 new players, and they're Forest, and then eventually he did turn it round. If I had to, that is a tough one.
I don't think you can. There's no right or wrong answer in that. There's no way you can say Everton would definitely stay in the league and Forest would go down. There's no way you can say that the reverse as well. I think they're going to be in and around the same area again, battling each other to stay up, just trying to keep their head above water. If I was to put my money down, Sean Dyche, full preseason, knows the league better.
Good home record going.
Just Everton, I'd say, because he came into chaos, didn't he? And it was tough. And even by his standards, that was probably too much of a close call. But I think now we can get a little bit of calm into them players and buy some decent players-ish.
Well, they've got
the goal scoring. They've got no money, actually.
They don't have money. They signed Ashley Young.
I just don't know who's going to score their goals. Ashley Young will be fine, though. Ashley Young will be up and down, fit as a fiddle, good signing. Seamus Coleman's on his way out, even though he's still 37, Ashley Young. Probably older than Coleman, I don't know. But he's up there with Coleman's age anyway. Been in the league for many years. But Ashley Young's fit as a fiddle. Good experience. That's a Sean Dyche type signing. Alanga there.
You could see it working under Sean Dyche, couldn't you?
Yeah,
you could see it because Alanga's hard-working player, honest, good personality. You can see that working for him under Sean Dyche. And to be honest, I think he'd probably play more games at Everton than he would at Forest. Honestly, Forest got a lot of players. And,
they do.
And they've got the ability to kind of pull one out, put another one in. I mean, Jesse Lingard was there last season. He barely played towards the end. Didn't score a goal. No, exactly. So I think Everton might be the better move for him in terms of playing. And then again, if you were to say which one would stay up, I think you'd probably lean just towards Everton just for the Sean Dyche factor, wouldn't you? That they'll win home games this season. You know what I mean?
He gets it
Maybe
done.
that's what they do. I don't know.
Yeah, Sachi said, ask KG that when will he do his Reckless Thoughts live stream? I don't know. If you're in the chat, KG, let them know. I have no idea when he's going to do it. He probably has no idea when he's going to do it. He'll just come up and just say, I'm just going to go and do it now. That's,
that was everything I was going to say. KG, I wouldn't have him any other way. I wouldn't. I would not.
I would.
For the world. I wouldn't.
We would change one thing.
I wouldn't. No,
I'd change one thing.
I wouldn't. I adore him. Okay, I would not change anything, even though it's annoying often. I wouldn't change him. Okay. Why though? When you're greeting the players, shaking hands, Andy Cole comes out, legend, icon, Premier League, Manchester United icon, huge goal scorer,
my hero. Yeah.
Why is one of the first things that KG says to Andy Cole, "We're gambling, mate"?
Because he's the brain. His brain. He don't.
So I'm assuming I didn't hear the first, but I'm assuming they're saying you're going to be in Vegas. I'm assuming that's probably
because I was saying to him, yes, Coley. We saying you come in Vegas. I was like, have you seen the weather in Vegas? It's hot, man. Like it's proper. We were talking about that, and then KG just.
But we're gambling.
Been gambling. Asking the Man United ambassador who's there for work
in the suit, surrounded by Manchester United officials. What are we doing, Coley? We're gambling.
He's just honestly
with his phone on a stick.
Yeah, the funny thing, the thing is that when the club are really good to us, so we know all the security team, and when we're there, it's all great, blessed, unbelievable position to be in, pinch myself every day kind of thing, because we read the comments when people say literally you guys are living the dream, like we are, right? but what KG's like such a, how can I? Like he can't believe he's there still, which is beautiful actually, because KG's really good. I kind of quite normalize things because I'm in the mode of like, right, Josh needs to capture this, and we're going to see the boys, whatever. I forget, and I've been doing it longer. So KG still is really good at reminding all me and Josh, like, bro, don't normalize this, bro. Like when we were sitting in the stadium, like just halfway through the game, and it got a bit boring, and that he was like, bro, we're proper here, pre-season. I was like, it's just Norway away. Like, he goes, no, don't say that. Like, don't normalize this. Like, and he's right.
Absolutely.
But he just pulls up. Like, he just looks like such a, and because he's big, he's just, he just
got his bag
comes through. He's got a big bag. He's got a big frame, and his arms are long, and he can't blend in.
And also as well, he's got that stick. And as evidence, when we had our get together and party the other day, he has no idea how to operate that stick.
No,
so when he stretches it out, he starts pressing all these buttons, going, "Oh, Josh, how do you?"
He's just honestly. And you lot know obviously what's coming in terms of tour because you've seen it last year. Taking him to these countries and taking him to these places is just unreal. But I don't know. That's what they say with a dynamic duo, I suppose, isn't it? It's just.
That's why you're Batman and
That's
Robin.
why it works. That's why it works.
I don't know. I don't know what that makes Josh, Commissioner Gordon. I don't know what it is, but yeah. And I was saying to people during the match view as well, during the match view for that first preseason game, I said that was just a teaser. That was just a teaser of what's to come. You know us, UV preseason tour. That's our forte. We do it better than everyone else. And if just go back and watch last year's, it's going to be better. It's going to be better because the level's going to go up. We're going to be covering it all. They're going to be across different states, across different time zones. I'm going to be up at silly hours of the morning doing match views, screaming at the top of my lungs, Panenka and all that kind of stuff. Panenka. I'm still waiting for what to call that virtual studio. There were some suggestions. I haven't found one I like just yet. So they can let me know. But I'm very excited. It really whetted my appetite, did the preseason game.
Yeah, no, it was good. It was good to see the players, and at the hotel they were all friendly, they were all happy, and it was so good to see the fans as well, and the love that United View gets as well. By the way, because when we pulled up, we didn't realize that we were staying at the same hotel as the players. Big up to Prime Planet. He's our tour kind of operator. He's our whole travel operator. Anywhere we go to them. Check them out. Prime Planet. Planet as in IT at the end. And when I got there, I messaged him saying, "Oh, we're staying at, did you know about it?" Because surprise, we knew the players were staying there, so we sent you there. But when we got there, like the fans were obviously all queuing up, ready to see the players and stuff. But when we got there, the love that United View has, when they see me, KG, and Josh, and just everyone on the channel, they was bigging it up. Oh my god! And they'll turn around asking us for pictures and stuff like that. And it was wicked. So if you're one of the people that we met who watched the channel, big up to you. It's great to meet you. And just all the fans out there in Norway were just so friendly and so happy to see the team. So that's what does hit home about preseason every single time. People who never get a chance to watch our team get to come up close in person and see what it means to them. It's wicked, man. So actually says bring KG and Ty on next time, surely. Oh god, no, I can't be doing that. Jeez. Just really, 1 minute before you leave, Owen, before we go, just this Højlund thing, man. Like, am I living in a different world? Like, I know, like, 86 million is just stupid. I'm saying walk away, forget that. I'd rather struggle with Rashi up front than you have to have Garnacho and Sancho on the left, and then we just, then pay them 86 million. So I tweeted that, and it's like people saying, "Oh, well, you're just the Glazers then. You're just a Glazer, boy." He said, "See you later, boy." Like, you're missing the point. Obviously, I'm not saying just do that, but what I'm saying is do not give them 86 point something. Do not give them anywhere near that.
Get someone else.
Come on, get someone else. Or like I said, if there's no one else, I'd rather. And on top of that, forget that. Do you really think that money's there? Like, do you really think the Glazers care? Like, the money's gone. We had to get Weghorst for £4 million. Like, there is no money for that type of signing. We can't afford Harry Kane. We couldn't go and get Rice for 105 million. We can't enter the chat. So I'm like, come on, guys. Just be real. We can't. This kid, 86.5 million. He scored 9 goals last year. Come on.
Add an extra 15, get Harry Kane.
Jesus, exactly. Which obviously Daniel Levy would probably still say no, but
no.
I don't know. Anyway, that just annoyed me yesterday.
Yeah. Well, we've got a couple more super chats, Flex, before we wrap things up, I think.
Yes, Paul Ross says, need a positive start today with these transfers. And that's the only one left that I have, unless you can see more.
Well, John Wayne's gifted another United View membership. Another one.
Another one. Oh, yeah.
Another one. John Wayne. Bam, bam. That's my John Wayne impression.
Ain't even seen a film, but he must do that.
He must do that, mustn't he? Anyway, we're going to wrap it up there, folks. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Stay tuned, because Here We Go is coming later today. We'll be live when it happens. We're out of there. Peace.